Hello guys, today we'll be talking about how someone like me went from this to that, right? Honestly, I'm not even sure if people will watch this because thanks to COVID, the SAT isn't exactly required anymore. But if you still want to improve your SAT score or just listen to my voice while you're doing other things, that's completely fine. With that being said, we're gonna get started. Alright, just a quick disclaimer. I was not, still am not, one of those people that are naturally smart. Like, you know those people that can just not study for a test and can just ace it? Yeah, no, definitely not me. Through this video, I'm trying not to brag about my scores. I'm more trying to give you guys hope and reassurance that it really is possible to go from a 1200 to a 1500. I know it sounds completely crazy when you think about it, but if you put the time and the effort and the commitment and the dedication, it really is possible. And that's why I'm here, to give you guys, I guess, three kind of easy steps that will hopefully make it a lot easier for you. Okay, so my first piece of advice would be to make a spreadsheet. I know it sounds really weird, but it works for me. I'm gonna probably post or put a picture of my spreadsheet, probably somewhere here. With the spreadsheet, you'll be able to see your rate of progress, and you'll also be able to see how much you're improving from test to test. For me at least, I found that constant repetition was really important for me because the SAT is more about mastering the test itself rather than mastering like math and English, if that makes any sense. It kind of sucks because that's a pretty flawed way to measure one's intelligence, but it is what it is, which kind of sucks. But back to the spreadsheet. If you're starting with a 1250 like me, expect to do a lot of work to get to a 1500. As you guys can see, I took a total of 18. Yeah, please, or I don't want to say please don't be like me because I don't know, like you might need to take that many practice tests to get that score that you want, but just do whatever suits you. So yeah, also don't get discouraged if the score drops from time to time. That's completely normal. It doesn't mean that you're getting worse at the SAT, trust me. It might mean that, I don't know, maybe you just didn't get enough rest that one day, or maybe the test was harder than normal. Oh yeah, so as you guys can clearly see, there are a bunch of factors that go into your SAT score because the SAT itself and your testing experience is really unpredictable and you can't really prepare for stuff like that. There's this rule that is actually really helpful, that helped me at least. It's called the 40 rule. I don't think it's like an official term or anything, but basically what it means is that, let's say you get a 1450 on a practice test, okay? What that means is that on the actual SAT, what you could get could range from a 1410 to a 1490. Because if you just subtract 40 points from a 1450, 1410, and if you add 40 points to a 1450, 1490. So that's like your range of scores that you could get on the actual SAT. Yes, I know that range is really big, but I think it's better to have a range than like to have one specific score that like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna get that score on the actual SAT, because that's definitely not true. So yeah, anyway, I know that this didn't really count as a method to really improve your SAT score, but just make a spreadsheet or something to document your progress as you go. It's gonna be really helpful for you to see what's working for you and what's not working for you. So yeah, make a spreadsheet, or I don't know, maybe make a journal or something. Just do something to document your progress. So yeah. Okay, so for my second piece of advice, it would be to work smarter and not harder. I know it's super cliche of me to say, but it's so true. Don't expect your score to improve solely by taking practice tests. As you guys can see, I learned that the hard way. Something should pop up either here or here. But yeah, I learned that the hard way. Yeah, I really did take 8 practice tests to go from a 1250 to a 1280. Yeah, please don't do that. What you want to do instead is hone in on your weakest areas and just constantly drill in, I guess, those topics. People generally like to do things that they're good at. So for example, if you're good at math, then you're more likely to want to practice math. But that's terrible logic for studying for the SAT. Doing things that you're already good at won't really help you. So make sure to identify your weaknesses and try to minimize them. So the College Board categorizes its questions into 3 categories: easy, medium, and hard. And as I was taking practice tests, I was finding out that I was missing like a solid third of the medium questions, and basically I was missing the entire section of difficult questions. And so instead of taking like the full 4-hour practice test, I would instead just focus my attention on those difficult questions, and I guess part of the medium questions too. So unfortunately, it is hard to do that for the reading section because you need to read the entire passage. So of course, for the reading section, I would also do the easy questions too, but my main focus would be the difficult questions. So for the reading section at least, constant repetition is really, really important. As you guys can see, after 3 months, I went from a 630 to a 750, so yay me. As for resources though, Khan Academy is good, don't get me wrong, but me personally, I didn't like it that much because it was online. So it hurt my eyes to like look at a screen for 4 hours. I would personally recommend the official SAT practice book. I actually have it right here. So this thing right here, it's really big as you guys can see and really thick. It has 8 practice tests and it has like explanations for each question too. I will post a link to the book in the description. So yeah, but as you guys can see, my math score was not improving, and that's where we move on to my third piece of advice: tutors slash SAT camp, I guess. And I did both, as in I had a one-on-one math tutor, and I also had, or I attended a SAT boot camp kind of thing in the summer leading into my junior year. And I'm gonna say it right now, SAT camp is not worth it. Please, it is not worth it. Don't waste your time and money on that, especially if it's in like a classroom format. That's how it was for me, and it was not the best experience because you have to wait for other classmates too, which is not very efficient. I would personally say just to go for the one-on-one tutoring. It might cost the same or even more than the SAT bootcamp thing, but it's more efficient because you get to do what you want to do. You get to hone in on your own weaknesses. So yeah. So after getting outside help, I was able to consistently score in the high 700 to 800 range. For me personally, math is the easier section because unlike reading, it's a lot more objective or more concrete, as in either right or wrong, which for me made things a lot more easier to deal with. So get your points from the math section, trust me. Also, I know for tutoring it can be really expensive, and thanks to COVID it's kind of hard to get that right now. So I guess for right now, I would say the best thing that you can do is just constant repetition. That being said, please feel free to reach out to both me and Sam, and yeah, we'd be more than happy to help you guys. But anyway, what you want to do is try to identify a pattern, or if there's a pattern with the questions that you are missing. So for example, it could be the exponent questions, or maybe it could be the hard word problems. Regardless, after you found out the pattern, go on the internet and do a bunch of math, or find and do a bunch of math problems relating to that topic. And only after you mastered those topics would I recommend taking a full-on practice test. So that's pretty much it when it comes to the 3 things that I considered when studying for the SAT. I hope it helped you guys. I do want to say that depending on where you are, it could be a very long road, or it could be a very short road where you don't need to study at all. But if that was true, I don't think you'll be watching this video. So we're gonna go with the former on this one. What else? Oh yeah, but no matter where you are though, you want to set a goal for yourself. For me, it was always a 1500, and at the time when I had a 1250, it seemed very impossible. Yeah, but just know that it is possible to get whatever score you want to get. Again, the test itself is not really about how smart you are, it's more about how well you know the test. Again, it's kind of dumb, but it is what it is. When you do start studying though, you'll see that you're gonna improve at a very fast rate for like the first 3 weeks, but then after a while, you'll begin to plateau. That's completely fine. Don't let that discourage you. If you do plateau, you might want to try to find a different method of studying. Maybe you're missing the same questions. Again, find a pattern in what you're missing. Oh, also, yeah, speaking of the plateau thing, like a 50-point increase from a, I don't know, from a 1200 to a 1250 is a lot easier than a 50-point increase from a 1400 to a 1450. So, so yeah, just keep it in mind. It is harder to improve as you go up the scale, as you go up the score scale. Yeah. But anyway, I hope this video helped you guys. If you liked it, please consider dropping a like, or I guess subscribing, doing all that fun stuff. Also follow us on Instagram at justin.n.sam. Yeah, any kind of support and help would actually be really, really appreciated. So thank you guys. With that being said though, I'll see you guys next week. Bye guys.